Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Shannon.
Hello, long time no see.
Right. So, welcome back to the Clean Business Life. I am your co host, Jamie, and you
Oh,
are.
I'm Shannon. I'm busy skimming my notes. I'm like, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
What
So,
highlight is that?
so today we're going to talk about when social media becomes a job.
Right.
Apparently, somewhere along the way, us owning a cleaning business turned into running a media company.
Right. And if you think about that in the grand sense of things, we've hit on this topic in a couple of episodes, but we've never really specifically called it out. Your content is your media library. It is how you brand and position yourself. It is how you attract clients. It's how you don't attract clients. There's a lot of things that are behind the scenes and trying to automate. And I know we were talking about AI earlier. Automate some of those processes really does help, but there are nuances, and you want to make sure that you are. And we've seen them. I made a post last month, and I used it was an AI generated photo, and it said it at the bottom because I
Right.
know that everybody is like really touchy about it.
Right.
The amount of I can't believe that you used an AI photo. Like if you read it all the way to the bottom, it says AI generated for privacy. It was just like, but it upset a lot of people. So if you're using AI in your social media posts, make sure you put AI generated or AI enhanced, or I did this for privacy, like I did with that one cleaning, because I didn't felt comfortable posting this information because I didn't have I got kind of an okay, but I didn't get the legal, scribble, scribble, scribble.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to have something that was similar, but not the same. And there is work that is involved with running this. I mean, we already run crews.
Yeah.
We're dealing with clients, messages, payroll, taxes, you name it, we're doing it. And then now I have to worry about reels, posts, short term, long form posts, blog posts. I mean, there's all of this stuff that you have to kind of learn how to do if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah. And what's before this ever even became a thing, social media, the internet, you guys got to remember, I remember when Google came out.
Me
I'm
too.
totally dating myself, but this was not a thing. And I'm trying to think, how did how did you do it? How did you guys do it without some sort of digital brand?
Print. We did a lot
Yeah,
of print.
digital print. And it has. It's now we're talking about doing reels, captions, thumbnails, hooks, engagement, analyticals. Well, how many people are looking at your analyticals, your
Oh,
insights?
I am.
Give me chill. I'm like, woohoo, 46 cents. Yes. You're cross posting. You're posting in all your local groups. That is part of branding. It is uh you're tending to your audio, your personality brand. And at what point did social media become a second unpaid, by the way, full-time job? So, let's do this.
Let's
When
talk
did
about old school word of mouth advertising.
Yeah,
I think that this, if you can get it, still works, but we have a lot of humans who don't want to engage from person to person. I mean, how many times have we been to a retail location, if you still go to a retail location, and you get eye contact and someone says, "Hi, how was your day?" You're like floored. It's like, you're going to acknowledge me. I'm not going to be the person that just hands you money.
done.
Word
Yeah.
of mouth advertising is really hard to attain. I think that people would agree to disagree with me. It's almost a dying phase of advertising. If you can get someone who says, Jamie and above all cleaning is super duper awesome, and she does it all the time in person and online, reward that person, because that is really hard to achieve, to have someone take the time out of their day to do that for you. Make
Eh,
sure you thank the people who are giving you the referrals or writing the 5-star reviews. And there really was a lot of weird things that we did before social media. As I just mentioned, print. I ran print ads. I had an ongoing print ad for 8 years in the Daily Courier. I have little old ladies who would cut out that ad and they would hold on to it to the one time
Like
that
a
they needed to, and they
coupon.
would hand you the clip of, like,
Oh,
the newspaper clip. Like, "I got you for years, this one you."
I also remember that you were a kind of, leading in the industry then. This is all before this, social like Facebook and all this,
Before there were
or
groups,
Facebook
everything.
became even popular or,
There was
uh, the
MySpace,
taxis.
right?
Tell our viewers about the taxis.
Uh, so I actually, back in the day, I'm totally dating myself, and there actually still is a taxi company here in my town because all the other taxi places went out of business. And because the seniors, because I have a huge senior, don't know
Yeah.
how to make the apps work, they still call a taxi. So she has 4 people working for her. I think it's awesome. I think I might actually advertise with her, but I haven't quite worked out all the details. But what I did is I paid to have a logo made and I put it on the back, and at the time, I believe it was 9 or 10 different taxis. So as they drove through town, you would see Castle Keeper Cleaning on the back of all of these cars, and I paid them. I worked out some sort of, like, fantastic deal. I think it was
Yep.
$195 a month I paid for each vehicle, and it was like it was the
Yeah.
best advertisement I could have ever asked
That's
for.
like having a wrap.
Right. I mean, because everybody saw the taxis. It's bright yellow and it just has this logo on the back.
Yeah. Uh, that's literally the social media of the day.
Right.
I love that story and how far everything but no, seriously, everything it is. It's a full-time job, and it's honestly, you guys, it's the one of the very first thing that I was like,
It's
"I need to
overwhelming.
I need to delegate this." I need somebody to help me so that I don't lose my brand.
You have to do something.
Yeah, you have to have something, and I do you have to have post every day, and sometimes I'll post 3 times a day.
Right.
I'll have my VA post, and then I'll jump in there and I'll post a couple of more.
Sarah is excellent for that, by the way, and we'll put her information in the show
Yes,
notes. But if you
I
need
have
someone to help you with
seen
this, she's
right, I've
perfect.
seen people asking about inside of the Maids Network, and if you're listening to this, I did tag Sidekick Sarah. I couldn't tag just Sarah Gardner in there, but
I
anyways,
don't know why. Sometimes it'll let you, sometimes it won't.
so hopefully you hear this, and I would like to link her down on the bottom. But yeah, it's become a full-time job because and we're not talking about the influencers, the clean talk influencers. We're talking about your brand,
Your
your
cleaning
but
company.
yeah, it's much easier and no shade thrown to content creators, but it's easier whenever you're a solo cleaner, you have that time, you can set up your camera, you can do this. Man, we're trying to grab
Do
we're
we need to stop? Because I can hear the dogs. Is
do
it
you
your
want
computer? Do you want to go look?
maybe it's my new iMac.
It could be. We
Uh,
can actually edit this out and then
yeah,
maybe
let's just
substitute it.
edit this part out and just pick up.
Do you
So
want to go look?
no,
Okay.
nope, we'll just finish.
All right. We'll edit this part out. So, there was a lot of old school media forms. So I did print. Magazine print is really expensive. I mean, still to this day, if you put an ad in a magazine, it can be 1,500 to 5,000 bucks per episode that you're printing on, depending on the size and scope of what you're doing. Then you would have to pay, and now you can use AI to help you. But then you would have to pay a photographer to come take the shots. Then there's prep, and then you're having to do all this crazy stuff. There is another cleaning business owner here in Arizona who shall not be named, who I constantly see is advertising to have her crew go over to location and they get reimbursed a 4-hour cleaning. Not on that day, obviously, but
Right, right,
another opportunity. So that's something to think about as well.
right.
There really is a lot of pressure to post. So you know that you need to post. You don't know what to post or what to say in the post, and you're like, "Well, then what if they respond to my post? What do I say then?" Right? "Sorry, I just caught this 3 weeks later. Did you still need
Yeah,
help?"
that is but then you go in there, you can go into your whatever you're advertising, and nobody's got time for that. You literally have to dig about and teach yourself. It's like
It's a
being
habit.
a marketer.
Mhm.
Like you like need a college degree almost for this. I want to talk about though a little bit how everyone presents themselves online, and they always look a lot more successful than what they really are.
So
And then
there
that's
is the
whenever
comparison culture for sure.
uh, uh, fake perfection,
Mhm.
right? Large creators with hidden teams,
Oh my
feeling
gosh.
behind. You're obvious. You're doing a comparing yourself, and that can check into your mental. You know, curated business success. Some of these
And
people
we'll see the
online.
curated, I believe the curated Business Express. Let's give you an example. For a year and a half, I belonged to the Women's Entrepreneur Facebook group. You can look, it's still there online. There's like
Oh,
379,000 entrepreneurs worldwide. And I paid for the extra membership, the $97 to be able to promote myself for a full year. I didn't get any ROI out of it. And then I started to see the patterns. And it was always some woman in front of her Tesla. And she's like, I made it large. Don't private message me and I'll send you whatever it is. And it was just a total setup. They would never tell you, they never showed you P&L. They never, they never showed you the steps to get there. And I was just like, this is just a bunch of crap.
yeah.
So I was just like, it was a waste. So
Mhm.
that's an example of curated business success.
I like
Or
that.
the Instagram, I always talk about this. I don't remember who I was telling this to the other day. Is you go to Instagram and they show you this beautiful sunset and it's a model and she's in her bikini and it's some Hawaiian island or Tahiti or wherever. And then you look at the bottom of the real shot, the behind the scenes, and she's standing on a rock in a bunch of trash. She doesn't want to get off the rock because there's a bunch of trash.
Oh, I love the feet photo with the sunset and the
Right.
and with their margarita held out, and it's a lot, isn't it?
Which
Eh,
is, it's great, but try to be, my big thing is being truthful and transparent. So I don't think that you would see Shannon on a rock with a bunch of trash, first of all. Second of
ever.
all, if I was genuinely there, I would try to show you a place that didn't have a bunch of trash.
Yep.
Tiptoe through the, like,
Yeah, you're
ugh,
from you.
you're gonna get a staph infection if you touch the water. It's like, so don't compare yourself to others, because if you do start this habit, a little bit every day will eventually get you to your goal. And I want to say that again, a little bit every day will eventually get you to your goal. Does it have to be 10 things? No, it doesn't. Like, for example, when I do social media, I do it first thing in the morning. Sometimes I have things pre-planned out if I like something and it's whatever promo I'm doing or whatever course I'm doing, but I have in addition to, and it takes me about 45 minutes to come up with what I'm talking about, going with the hooks, trying to decide if I want content or no content, whatever hashtags. But a little bit every day will get you there. So don't become overwhelmed by, oh my God, Shannon does all this crazy stuff, or Jamie does all this stuff, or Sarah does all this stuff. Just start small and basic.
Very, very. I can tell you there for me, it went viral. I had 600 and almost 700 likes on that post. Which was it was real me. It was back whenever I was growing my business, I had a B2 employee still, but I still totally working in the business, in the field. I had my sons I was moving from one car to another. I had to which was my husband's car. He had my son's at the time, all his karate stuff, like his gi and his belt and his little,
Whew,
yeah, what is those? The
the stuff.
yeah, and so I had to do that. I was still writing and I had a folder. I still writing in the This before I went digital, I was still writing in a notebook of appointments and everything. It was the business at that time. That was the brain of the business. And I had my purse, my car keys, and I had my son's belt wrapped around my neck. Like I can get all this in one trip. And one of my employees goes, "Stop right there. This is going to be a perfect I this is going to be a perfect picture." And I threw it up and I said, "Are you a busy mom or dad? We understand." And it just went for me, that's viral.
Right.
Whenever you get 6, 700. It was natural and it wasn't forced, but I did boost. That was the only time that I boosted a what is that? The like kind of like an ad just to see what it would do. And it did. It went up. But yes, people like to see real stuff and not
That
fake
you're a
the
real
funk.
person.
Mhm, personable. Personable,
So,
that's
and you
the
have
number.
to remember too, so you have to start small, but a lot of the bigger people, I'm talking big people, like they have a team and editor. Like when you're looking at someone famous, those guys, when they say, "Oh my God, I love you." We've all seen the scam. I'm a general in the army and I live in Poland. And I can't reach out with like the weird stuff. And you're like, they don't respond back. There's actually people running that page,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they have an editor, an assistant, a social media manager, and a husband holding the camera, and it's constantly curated. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just know
No.
what you're engaging with, right? That's probably not gonna get you the same person as someone who doesn't have all that. And don't let it be a comparison either that I'm never gonna get there because you will get there. It just takes a
Absolutely.
little bit of effort to do it. And you will find business owners that are comparing themselves while folding while folding microfibers at 11 o'clock at night. I hope that you are not doing that, but I'm guilty of it. I gotta get this laundry done.
You're just totally yeah, we've been there. Yeah,
Right.
you're doing your own laundry still, you're doing all the scheduling. But yeah, the internet always makes people look richer, more happier,
More fabulous.
more organized, because that's not the shot that you wanna get.
Right.
That's not the shot. You wanna show the shot where everything's perfect. And it's just social media has turned everybody into a motivational speaker
I think there's a lot of truth to that
with a with a
on a
Canva
lot of levels,
subscription.
right? And
I
and
do
then
too.
sometimes that is life and sometimes it's not. It's just, knowing what to air and not air. I mean, I've mentioned before,
Mm,
we might have edited it out, but, that we have a moms group here, and sometimes inside the moms group, a lot of things get shared that I'm just shocked over.
I
Have a
yes,
filter, ladies, have a filter.
yes.
So, just there's that element too, so you gotta make sure that everything isn't curated and scripted, but it does at least legitimately look real. And then it says half the internet is just people aggressively pointing at text boxes. I don't know if they're aggressively pointing at a text box per se, but they are looking at what to say. And sometimes you can have a brilliant idea because the shower gods have delivered, and sometimes you can go to AI and help you out.
Yeah,
And then every platform really wants a different version of you. Don't make it that complicated.
no.
There is no way I'm gonna do 4 different versions of the same thing. I just typically clip it out, post it up, put a,
Cop
caption in there and be done.
copy
It's
paste, copy paste, copy
right.
paste.
It's because again, 11 o'clock at night, folding microfiber cloths, you gotta fit, where you gotta do what you can only do, right? And there are talking points and different points of view from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We all know that YouTube
Link.
is long form.
They
TikTok is
all have
short.
a different audience.
Mhm.
They all have a different view, you know, it's yeah,
Just
yeah.
it's a
Yeah, there's the short form versus the long form.
right.
There's the different they're different audience. everywhere, constant adaption fatigue.
Yes, that can be hard to deal with as well because it's constant. And I don't remember who I was mentioning this to. With social media, it feels like we're on the hamster wheel, right? We're constantly on the hamster. I'm the hamster that goes around like this, and then I'm stuck on the bottom and I swing around and I swing around. I'm not running anymore. I just swing some more. I just swing
Yeah.
again. And then we've all seen the hairless cats on the hamster wheels, and they're like running full speed on that huge hamster wheel. It's like 5 feet off the ground. Or even the circus people with the ball and the motorcycle, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is just wild."
Right.
You don't have to be on it all the time, just don't get overwhelmed with it, and there is a huge difference between short form and long form. As we just mentioned, YouTube is more long form, TikTok and Instagram is gonna be short form, and when you're looking for an editor to help you out, make sure that you understand what the difference is between
Right.
short form and long form content, and YouTube just started doing Reels, I think just a couple years ago, and that was a shock. I was like, "I never thought that YouTube would
Advertise.
ever."
They're constantly coming at me for advertising in the reels, and it was pretty good idea because that's all, like, my son and my husband, I noticed that's all they watch,
Right,
you know?
short form.
They're not the Facebook people or Instagram, they are YouTube Reels. But, yeah,
It's interesting.
Instagram, they want the aesthetics, which is more, video. TikToks, they want chaos.
Y always.
Yeah, Facebook wants drama, and LinkedIn really wants you to pretend like you love corporate leadership.
I think that's true to some degree.
It's very true. It's
I'm like, how often do I post on LinkedIn versus Facebook? I mean, I post there because 'cause I'm supposed to have a presence there, but I'm like,
yeah, I know. I try to too, and then I even bumped it up to the premium because it was like all these people were viewing my file, and I'm like, "Who's viewing my file?" See what I mean about social media? I'm like, "Who's viewing my file?" And of course, it's all cleaning business owners, but still, you just wanted to see. LinkedIn doesn't allow that. It's like, "Well, you need a premium if you wanna see that," and I was like, "Okay, we're canceling that."
right. So at one point, you just figure out one platform and stick with it, and then you can
Yeah.
kind of branch off if you choose to do so. You're not obligated to do all the platforms every single day. I
No.
do recommend that you get some sort of scheduler for you, and then as you get bigger, we can talk about the nuances of the stats and the algorithm and everything else. But that will help you be able to post faster. It used to be before they had the digital calendar system, so to speak, of your content. You had to do it by hand and post one in one group. Remember that? We had to post one in one group, one in another group, one in another group. You couldn't massively collect all of the stuff and post it there. When you have the like Puebler is what I use. I have a
Mhm.
lifetime, two of them. I can actually, all of my groups are all clustered together so I can automatically post. I don't have to go. And then when I go outside of my circle is when I have to do them individually.
Okay.
And make friends with the
Dan
moderators and the
Dan
admins.
Young is great for helping come up with ideas for cleaning content.
Mhm.
That's another person.
Who is it? Say it one more time.
Dan Young, he's the
Yes,
one
Dan
that
Young is
comes up
great for that.
for cleaning he works only with the cleaning industry. I don't know if he branched off, but I know it started with the cleaning industry, and he helps with that part of content creating. But you can go into I'm gonna just use Facebook because that's what I use, and they have so much information in there, and you
It's
just
kinda
read it.
scary.
Yeah,
They
it's
have too much information.
you read it, and yeah, it'll give you ideas and how to post and, if you wanted to take your business that direction of becoming an influencer or not, which I feel like is honestly, you're gonna either run your cleaning business or you're gonna run a social media platform. Not to say that you don't post all the time on social media because you're running a business, but if you're like I said, if you're going to be a content influencer, it's more I feel like that's more of a solo it's 2 full-time jobs.
It is.
It would be 2 full-time jobs, and I just
And let's be honest, the internet always asks for more. It's like it never like I said, it's the hamster wheel. You're just constantly on the hamster wheel.
the algorithm, "Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me." What and then, what is it? If you disappear for even 3 days, think you've Instagram acts like you just died. Facebook acts like you just died. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, like, they've taken a step back for a mental health day, and their numbers have just like they died, like they're no longer
Right.
in business.
And you have to remember that if your stats go down, the world will not end. And
Right.
it will be okay. I know some of you guys on social media are making thousands and thousands of dollars. I get that. But at the same level for small operator, it will be okay for your stats to go down and you take a break. Does it take a while to catch back up? Yes, but it's okay. The world will not end if that happens. And the internet does reward consistency, but your nervous system eventually files complaint. And that's when you were just talking about, Jamie, about taking a mental health break. And if you can be overstimulated too, like if you spend too much time watching reels and doing doom
Oh,
scrolling,
I
you can
do.
overstimulate yourself and actually have problems sleeping. So don't do that.
With that's why
Everything
they
is
put
everything in its own time, right?
well, isn't that why they put those blue screens or that blue something in
Right,
there? Because it's like, "Okay, you need to check out. Time to check out, but
right.
we're gonna put this screen on for nighttime. It's nighttime. Please look up from your phone."
Yeah, we have a rule in our house that we have no more devices after 8 p.m.
Yeah, yeah. It needs to yes, it needs to turn off and just come back to just I don't know. I can look around in my own household, you guys, and I just everybody is, like, looking down at their phones
Mhm.
or they're watching TV and you're talking and so uh-huh. It's
That's
like
how it is when you go out to
exhausting.
dinner.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, "No, we're not doing this." Yeah, turn off everything turns down at about that time.
And
So
then
and nothing I'm gonna say this, nothing ages faster than content. You
I think
work
so.
for an hour on the past and it survives 14 minutes. The internet rewards consistency, but your nervous system eventually files a complaint. And at some point, you realize your phone is basically your middle manager, right?
That's actually pretty
Love it.
true.
I like those.
And then you'll find too that everybody is on social selling something now. That I mean, you can sell digital products, you can sell books, you can sell white pages, you can sell access to you. I mean, there's you can resell books. I've seen all kinds of things being sold on the internet and social media, and that's actually just going to expand because we're in the information age. That's just what it's that time period is. And you're
Yeah.
going to see coaches everywhere, gurus everywhere, 6 figures in 6 minutes. I
Yeah.
did this in 32 days, or I had a lunch break and I made a book. What was the last one I said? That I can make a book on my lunch break. I'm like, "Oh my god, have you ever made a book?" It's not 40 minutes. It takes hours of dedication even with the help of some of the tech. Constant marketing noise, and then there's a huge amount of audience distrust.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why everyone got mad over that AI photo. I'm like, "But if you read the bottom, you would know."
Yeah.
I tried to be
Uh,
transparent.
I remember there was a couple people whenever that whole trend of making the cartoon character, the
Mhm.
curated cartoon character, there was a couple of people that said some not so nice things about that.
Thick skin, you gotta have thick
What are
skin on
you
social media.
using? I blah, 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 and I was just like, I did the scroll on by. It was just fun for a second, and it just, yeah, a lot of people have lost their minds over it. Um, Yeah.
And
Anyway,
then content creator is it's invisible labor. I mean, I think back to like Amber and Samantha and how much they put into their channels and what's going on. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head that I follow as far as clean talk. But it's invisible labor, and it does take effort regardless if you like it or not. There's a lot of effort put into what they create and have to think about and shoot and all this other stuff. And it can lead to like emotional exhaustion. It can push your mental load capacity. It also creates decision fatigue. You're so overwhelmed, you just don't have any more to output. Especially if you've done a lot of work on the internet to make a lot of reels all at once. I talked to someone one time and they're like, "I made 57 reels." I'm like,
right?
57 reels? Oh, that's a lot.
That is.
And then there's planning content, what to plan versus not plan. Believe it or not, Jamie and I plan out the whole year with the podcasts before it even hits the end of the year because we like to plan because we both have small kids. Well, they're not small anymore, but you
Well,
know what I mean.
and let's be honest, I'm we're st we also work. Well, I'm building a whole business. I do manage a team,
Right,
so we definitely talk about it a lot, though.
right. And that just, we talk about the blocks time pick up and drop off
Yep.
for all of the moms out there and the dads. But people see a 30-second clip and they don't see the 3 hours of mental resistance before filming it. And it's true. It's that you set up more for the shot when you're doing photography than anything else. It could take you because you keep having to look through the lens. You're like for example, I'm going to show you. Look at this. See Bob Ross? He's got my Halloween wig on.
Oh, we
It's a
switched.
rock star wig from the '80s, and I told my kids I bought it at a yard sale. I'm like, "I'm wearing this for Halloween. I'm gonna be like
Yes.
an '80s rock star," and they're like,
Yes.
"Oh my god!"
With the
And I put it on
80s.
Bob Ross. It's on his head right now,
Yes, I see it. I see it.
and it
Oh,
fits
I'm
my
sorry.
head perfectly. My husband's like, "That is hideous." I'm like, "I love it."
Yes. Yes, with the leg warmers on your arms and the
Right.
ba
Like the lightning bolt. I'm gonna look for a lightning bolt muscle
Yes.
shirt with like skin tight pants.
I have a whole outfit. It's the little skirt, super neon colors everywhere, leg warmers on hot pink leg warmers on the bottom with all the plastic, bangles
Yeah.
and the lightning bolts. I love it too. I
I'm
love it
gonna do that
too.
for Halloween. But yeah,
Yes.
they don't see what the work that's behind it. They just and it's always about consumption, consumption's consumption. So sometimes you're not tired from business, you're just tired from thinking about your business. So make sure that if you can't do it yourself, that you delegate to someone like Sarah or Dan Young or whatever you decide is in the budget. And business owners are expected to work all day and then become entertainers at night. I think this is a really unrealistic expectation. This is why I talk about boundaries and systems all of the time. You need to have time with your family. Whether whoever that family is, you need to spend time with that person
Mhm.
or your pets or whatever it is. You need to don't spend more time on your
Don't forget
phone.
them.
Spend time with others, other humans.
Don't forget, you guys, full transparency here, while building this business to get to here, I did that. I was there. I was in the home with them, but I was either up at all hours of the night, just marketing myself, trying to learn and figure this stuff out. I wasn't there. I was there physically, but mentally, I was not there. So,
Presence of
just
mind.
remember, be mindful of that your family is there and they need you.
Still waiting for you to be there. And
Yeah,
you
they
can
need you.
absolutely burn out from visibility. There just comes a time and that's your body and your psyche saying, "Okay, I need to take a vacation or take a couple days off or do whatever." Because we're so accessible, I think this causes a little bit of friction because business owners are losing the ability to be offline. Where like for example, the internet. When the internet goes down, it seems like the world is gonna collapse. I'm like, "God,
Did you see it
when
go
did
down?
this become a
Remember?
thing?"
Was
But it's
that last
true.
year? Was that last
You can't
year?
process yeah, I think that was last year. You can't process we couldn't do the show. You couldn't process credit cards.
Yeah,
The banks were shut
Facebook
down for a day. I mean, there was like the
Facebook went down
airplanes
for,
didn't
like, an
work.
hour, and it was like but you could still message people and everybody's, "What's going on? Is this happening to you?" I was just was and then it was like, that became scary. But yeah, talking point notifications, DMs, constant accessibility, never unplugging, work life blur, and we just touched on that. The work life blur again. I'm not ashamed to say it, but it's like I was again physically here, but I was not here. I was
Right.
sitting there building and building and building and building. And the lines do, they get kind of misconstrued of everything, you know? There used
Yes.
to be business hours, right? When
Right.
did where's the business hours stop?
I think that because of social media, they think that you can, that you're just there, right? I can't tell you how many times I
24/7.
get someone on the weekend at 11 o'clock at night going, "Where are you? I need an answer." I'm like, "Dude, it's 11 o'clock at night." I don't look at my phone. I don't honestly, I don't look at my phone after like 7.
Yeah,
And
well,
even
mine's
then, you gotta be
automatic.
my mom. Like,
I
I'm
have
not
a
talking to
thing.
you.
Yeah, I have a something on my phone where it automatically go silent after I believe it's 7. Yeah, I believe it's 7, up to then. But we were also taught, I've been taught that, whenever you're, like, your Google business profile and stuff, you're supposed to have 24-hour somebody that is looking for your a cleaner in your area. Are they gonna go to and these are for, like, say, a nurse that's working 12 hours, and they get off at 11 o'clock, and they're gonna skip. Now this is what maybe it was Google. They're gonna skip over somebody that's, like, 9 to 5 hour working 9 to 5 versus somebody that has something that's, for 24 hours. So even that's a hook. That's a hook to be constantly on some sort of form of social media. We're
Right.
constantly on. Yeah.
And it used to be that your phone was a tool, and sometimes your phone can feel like an ankle monitor. I mean that in the nicest form, but it really can. It could be like you're
All
constantly. I
in
mean, if you go to for the other day, I forgot we got in the car and I forgot my phone. I'm like, "Oh my god, what if my mom calls?" Then I had to go all the way back because I couldn't go like 15 minutes on my phone. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm addicted to my phone." But then I'm like, "Well, what if I get a call from a client? What about this?" So your
well,
mind starts to spiral, and it's just this whole expectation that your phone is hooked in. There's even movies now where they're like, "I'm talking right here. I have a microchip," and like, I never want one of those, but it could go in that direction.
my husband he has a watch. He has an Apple Watch, and so does one of my employees. Erica has one, and it'll say at the bottom of the text if they use that, but
Mhm,
it was, sent with Siri.
mhm.
So they talk into it without even using their phone. They talk into it and they send the message, and it was like, "What? From
I
the
have
what?"
actually, if you notice, I'm not wearing I have an Apple, Watch that I don't use that I
Yeah,
have
I don't know. Nope, I don't have one, but I don't know where it's at anymore. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah, it's you're answering client messages while standing in line at Costco because that's
I'm
so
guilty of
true.
that.
It's so true. Or at my son's baseball games, we're
Mhm.
doing baseball. I can speak on this right now because I'm watching. Trying to be there, present. I'm there, but then you get the phone call. It's like, this would just happened to me yesterday. I got the phone call, answering thing. I'm like, "Where you going?" Like, they're getting ready to go up to bat, and my phone rang because I forgot to turn it on to do not disturb while we're at the baseball game, and I had to take it. I'm glad I took it, but it feels like a ball and chain, doesn't it? Sometimes.
Definitely. So let's talk about some strategies that actually work.
Yeah.
My number one thing that I like, and before I say this, let me preface, I've been doing the content creation thing for 5, 6 years now. 6 years. Full time. Like, I have 28 terabytes, which is a lot of content, a lot. 28 terabytes. So I legitimately, like, these little things, I got like six or seven of these bad boys, and each one of
You're
these is like 6 terabytes, and I fill up one halfway through the year. So what you can do to help not help you, like, oh my god, what am I going to do, how am I going to get this, is you can repurpose a lot of your content.
Yes.
One, when and there's a strategy, and I can't remember the name it's called, but you can take one short clip form where you take a long form content and you can break it into smaller clips, and you take the smaller clips, you can make a blog post from it, then you can make a short form blog post. That way they see the same thing, but it's hitting different markets. And what I mean, like, by that is, Jamie and I were just talking about, Instagram has a different market, TikTok has a different market, Facebook has a different market, LinkedIn is all corporate business. And then you can kind of strategize and see what works, and then you test. You could do A/B testing, right? You don't have to say A/B testing, but you just have to start to track and trace to see what's working.
Right, right.
Batch recording is something that Jamie and I do relentlessly with the podcast. We right now, only this for 2026, we only film on Thursdays, the first 2 Thursdays of the month. So if you're a guest and you can't make it, we'll push you to the next month. And that
Yep,
was a commitment that she and I made at the end of last year, because drop off and pick up.
yep,
So
yep,
batching everything makes everything run smoother, and then you're not spending all this time doing all of this crazy legwork. Reposting older material, my digital calendar system, when I post a post in Puebler, I actually recycle it 4 more times. So you'll see the same post, but you won't see it right away. I'll post it 1 month, then I'll post it 2 months, and then I'll post it again 3 months. And
great
then that
idea.
way I'm filling up this, because there's people who still haven't seen, because in your mind, oh my God, I've seen this video like 82 times. And they're like, oh, I just caught this video you did. And you're like, see, it's so you can repurpose.
Right,
And
right.
then picking fewer platforms, you do not have to be on every platform. You don't. You can
No,
just pick one. And that will be okay. The world will not end.
yeah, we stick with Facebook.
Right.
Instagram, I'm still even
I
still
know.
to this
But
day, I don't I don't understand. I mean, I do, but I'm like, "Okay, how do I even post here?" It's so
it's you don't post enough to actually be familiar with how to make it work. And
right,
then
exactly.
picking sustainable systems, stick with stuff that's easy. Don't make it hard on yourself. It's overwhelming if you're going to DIY it. It's overwhelming to try to do it all on your own. Pick one and done, and just be happy with that. And then as you get better and faster, if you want to add on a second one, it can, or you can get a scheduling program. I know that Facebook has one that's free.
Yep,
Canva has one that's free.
yep,
Puebler, I bought off of AppSumo, so I have 2 of them, and I got a lifetime value. I think I paid $79 at the time. I don't even
right.
remember. But
No,
they're lifetime, I have them forever, right? So those are something that you can do to help post, or you can get Sarah or have Dan, or any of those people are more than happy to help you do and get that stuff out. If you've noticed too, and this is just an observation, and there's nothing wrong with this, but sometimes cleaning companies become media companies as well, and they help other smaller businesses with posting of their social media.
right,
So there's always that option to do as well, should you choose to go down that path.
right, right, I've seen it. I've actually had somebody reach out to me that not reach out, they reached out and, they and especially if they're local in your area.
Yeah, I
They
love
know
that
the
better.
layout they know the layout of the land, even though they are another cleaning business company, we still talk, and we still you guys know how much I love collaborating with especially my local cleaning business owners. I mean, who else knows, the our client, our social media, what's working for them? They know the demographics,
Mhm.
you know? So, that that's always an option, but yeah. So we're building a business, not a performance.
Right. So every piece of content does not to have to be a cinematic masterpiece. You can make mistakes. You're going to notice it before they're going to notice it. You can make mistakes and go, oh my gosh,
In the
that
beginning,
was
that
awful. And
is
they're like, this is
yes, and
great.
that comparing myself to all these other businesses, I thought I needed to have all these special apps like CapCuts and doing this and doing that.
I have CapCut. I think I tried it for a month.
I I did. I got CapCuts, but in the beginning, it was like, I trying to just on one post, you're trying to make it perfect and let it glide easy, and it's like, I'm like, I got more things that are really a lot more important. I know that this part is important to have a brand
Mhm.
recognition here.
And this is just one layer of networking.
One layer, one small piece of the puzzle.
So by doing this, you give yourself some long-term sustainability because we're such busy and our ADD is all over the place and everyone has it because our attention spans are very, very short. It used to take, like, 7 times to make an impression. I think it's, like, 24 or 30 impressions before someone goes, "Hey, I remember seeing that." It's really kinda sad. And then
Guys,
systems before speed, work with the system that is easiest. Don't make it more complicated and get cat cuts and then video shop and then this other thing over here. Just pick one, learn it, and if you don't like it, stop it and start another one. But it
right,
just don't make it more complicated than it needs to be because that makes it harder on you. And then legacy over virality, enunciation. I haven't had
right,
enough coffee.
yeah, yeah,
Virality.
basically, right, that's
That's what I'm trying to
the
enunciate.
proper.
Is easier. Stick with what you know, and if you want to try something and you have caught up and you're in a different position and than doing both, just pick something and run with it. And then trust over attention. People, especially, we were just talking about this in the interview with someone else. We are a trust based industry. You are selling trust. Yes, you're selling cleaning, but you're selling trust.
Right,
Trust that you're going to show up, trust that your cleaning techs are background checked and they know what they're doing. Trust that, nothing bad's going
y
to be broken. There's a lot of trust in our industry.
yes.
And then there's the real business versus the internet image. And there's a lot of like
No,
polish.
yes. Let let's make this look
Right,
like I
like,
know
"Whoa,
what I'm
look at
doing.
that filter, this looks fantastic." So, a real business should exist even if you take a nap, so that don't be your own bottleneck. What is let me say, one layer deep?
Oh, yes,
Go,
don't
Libby, go, Libby.
yes. I think that's a lot of us business owners, we are the bottleneck. I
With
mean, we
every
are that because it's very hard to learn how to delegate something with it's your baby,
it
but
is.
you won't ever be able to scale if you don't ask for that. So, yeah, if you take a if you take a pause for 3 days, your business will still be running. It's okay, it'll still exist. Not every successful business owner wants to become an influencer.
True.
Yeah. That's not I thought I did until I we did those, interviews. I don't know which episodes they are, but we did a couple of interviews with some influencers, and I realized really quickly which direction did I wanna go. Did I wanna become an influencer or did I wanna scale my business? And I wanted to scale my business because an influencer, that is their full-time job on top of them
Yep,
cleaning.
they got 2 jobs. My father, I got 5 jobs.
But that's the direction that they wanted to go to, you know?
And it's okay, whatever you choose to do is totally okay with us. Make
Okay,
no difference to us at all. We're
that's
just here to
right.
guide you with information.
So some of the business operators are too busy making money to look famous online. Yeah, you do not need to emotionally perform for the internet every single day to be successful.
True.
It's
Even though sometimes we feel like it.
very, we built businesses. Somehow we accidentally also became content factories.
Amen to that. It's
That
true.
is so true. I mean, gosh, it's just, I do something twice a year or once a year. It may jump up to twice a year, where I actually hire a professional photographer to come in take pictures professionally of my people, and then we'll reuse and reuse and reuse those photos in uh, different posts, and it'll be the same picture, but the post title will be different, you know? So
Definitely. And maybe that's the real conversation that nobody talks about enough is, it's okay to not have to perform and be on the hamster all the time. I think a lot of business owners are quietly exhausted and it's overwhelming. Like, I know I need to do this, so how do I get this done? Here, just do it, right?
um,
And maybe the answer isn't posting more. It's about thinking a little bit further down the line on what you want to do. Jamie just mentioned she has the same photograph. She has a different hook, a different content. You can do long form content, short form content. You can blurb out. People do stories all the time. I suck at stories. It's tedious for me. It's not something, that's why you never see me post stories. Once in a while I will, but I don't like the tediousness of having to do one, two, three.
oh, right,
I don't have it
layer,
in me.
layer after layer, "Here, put this in," and it's like,
Right. I'm like, "Nope, that's not me." I mean, I hate, and you can tell I hate to do stories. And then so that maybe the answer is building systems that just help you stay visible and top of mind. That's okay. It doesn't have to
yeah,
be a success. It doesn't have to go viral, but as long as you're present, because more and more people are finally on the internet, and more and more people are finally on Facebook. I mean, I don't remember what they said, the population of the United States, and they gave some, like, I think 88% of the population of the United States is on Facebook at any given time during the day. And they said worldwide, it's like 92 or 93% of the population. I'm like, that many people are on Facebook, but it's true. And I
yeah,
could be
it
wrong.
is,
It was an old article I read, so maybe that's changed. But
right?
this concludes our social media becomes a job podcast.
Please like, share, subscribe so that we can reach more people and feed that algorithm,
Definitely.
and we
And
will
as
see you on
always,
the next show, right?
just appreciate you guys. Take care.
For so much. Bye.
Bye. In session.